And good day to you again. Michelle Greenwich Joyner back at you with that age-old question, how do I teach my child to read, or when do I teach my child to read? If you've been following my videos, you've heard me say that it begins at birth. And what we're doing is we're going through the process as far as birth, toddlers, preschoolers. So today what we're going to do is we're going to discuss vocabulary building. I'm sure that everyone has heard about the bad situations where children aren't developing vocabulary. When they get to school, there's so many million of words behind other children, and I would like to spend a little time on that. And I'm not going to quote the research, because if you want to look it up, it's out there. What I'm trying to do is to help you and to be a positive influence in everyone's life, and that is how to build vocabulary. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about video as far as being supplemental and video not being primary, but you are. So what are we going to do to build vocabulary? What we're going to do, again, is take a walk in the park. And we're going to talk to our child, regardless of their age, from infancy on, about what you see. If they're too young to have a conversation, remember that they are listening. So we'll take a walk in the park. Build vocabulary. When you're in the car, many children play, what do I see? When you're on the bus, what do I see? If you have two children, there's an older and a younger one, you can be talking to the child as far as building their vocabulary, and your younger one will be listening. That's why some parents say, oh, my second one caught on so quickly. That's because he or she was listening to what you were doing with the first one. They inferred information. It's time to listen. So let's go back to the simple bus ride, car ride, whatever situation you may be in, country. Oh, and the country is a very good place to build vocabulary, as far as just taking a country trip in the car and showing the cows and the corn and the field, where it's something not only in a book, but something that they've seen. There's a commercial out now talking about a father going to the baseball Hall of Fame. How the son starts out very quietly, and then by the end of the day, he's just talking to his dad, and his dad is so happy. This is an example, and a true-to-life one, because it does build exposure, and it does build vocabulary. So you have something, you don't have a car, take a walk, not only to the park, take a walk and find out, or take the bus or some type of transportation, call on your friend, do a group activity, go to the pet store, where they actually see that exotic snake or see those colorful fish. Toddlers, hold them. They can be in the stroller at this time. That's a good time, so that you don't have to worry about them being all over the place. Remember, you're learning and they're sitting. Strollers are good for these type of activities. Also, going to the supermarket. Please, I know you may say that you'll be done in 15 minutes if you don't have your children with you. But what we don't realize is that how much they learn in a grocery store. First of all, they learn about body parts in the chicken and the meat department, and oh my God, is that gross? Oh my God, no, this is what happens. I remember my mom showing me the chicken feet. Oh my gosh. I didn't get to go to a farm, but I certainly know what chicken feet look like. So they may be gross to some people, but this is a learning time. You talk about the fruit. You go down the fruit aisle. You go down the cereal aisle. You go down the vegetable aisle. All of these things become real to them. And this is what builds vocabulary, prior knowledge, and exposure. And remember, you're constantly talking to them. This is an activity. This is a learning activity. So if you're home that Saturday morning, break your child up. Probably he or she is waking you up. Get dressed and take that child to the grocery store. Just a simple grocery store. Ask the question and discuss the question, how does the food get here? Do they grow it in the backyard? Then you can refer to the connections of the farm and city life, if that may be the case. Or if you're in the country, where does the food go after here? How is the milk processed? These things are just something that preschoolers love to hear. And again, as far as the reading is concerned, then you can back it up with a book as far as what the veggies are. And they say, oh, It's not just a picture to them anymore. So that's one way of, those are many ways of building vocabulary. I just want you to think that vocabulary is built throughout the day. One way of building vocabulary is, depending on the age, for your younger children, you're naming a lot of things. For your other children that are in preschool, you're asking them questions. You're building that information as far as them being able to ask you a question. So they ask you a question about the vocabulary that they're learning. And you may say asking questions, but that in and of itself is a vocabulary as far as how to ask a question. How, what, when, where, why. Those are questions and vocabulary words that they should be familiar with. So that's just a short episode, and I will be doing other episodes on building vocabulary. But I really want the parents, you out there and grandparents, to understand that everything is vocabulary. Everything. And the more you talk to your child and have conversation with your child, and put away the video game, and put away the music, put away whatever it is, because I don't want to use anybody's particular name. Put away the music. Enjoy your child. Thank you very much. Michelle Greenwich Joyner, PYGMALION @ gmail.com. Till next time.